Okay, now we're going to take a look at what I've got here so far. I'm trying to keep my background mostly grays, and I'm putting a lot of layers of gray, a light gray on top, and then I'm using white to burnish it with. I have more detail going on in my trees here in the front. And my light source is coming from back here. These trees are backlit, which means the light is behind the trees back here. So most of my shadows are going to be over here, and most of my light is going to be hitting them in places. You might also end up with kind of a dappled or speckled color on the trunk where leaves are casting shadows, leaves that you can't see. These are the colors that I used. I used a lot of different colors here. This is a colorless blender that you can buy. You can get these at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. A lot of times they're actually out of them. And it's basically a colored pencil. They're made by Prismacolor. It's a colored pencil without any pigment in it, and you can use that to blend with. They are truly awesome. You can also use, my stuff is rolling around, use my kneaded eraser here to keep it still. You can also use a plain alcohol-based marker, and it'll have like a chisel tip and a brush tip on the other end. You can also use a paintbrush or a Q-tip dipped in rubbing alcohol to blend, and what that does is it breaks down the binder, it breaks down the clay or the oil that's in the colored pencil and lets you move the pigment around. As you layer it up, you're going to have more layers that will affect other things. So make sure that your details are always on top, not in your bottom or middle layers, because once you start burnishing with a blending stump or burnishing with a, you might be burnishing with your blending stump, or you might be using a lighter color like white, or a lot of times a peach color is a good burnisher. You might, in your blending pencil, a lot of times you might accidentally burnish out details. So you got to think of this as layers. You got to think of blocking in more rich color, stack, 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 until your details are the last thing that you do. Black should be one of the last things that you use. Use other colors underneath first where you think your black is going to go. Use a dark brown, use a purple, use a dark navy blue. And if you keep on adding those blues and things, and then you put your blacks on top, your black will be a lot richer. I actually prefer to avoid black whenever possible, or at least put layers of other colors on my black. Black is a very flat color, so I kind of tend to avoid it. So here's how our progress is going so far. Okay, here. All right, here is my semi-finished colored pencil drawing. I could spend hours and hours and hours on it, just tweaking it and messing with it, because I never know when to stop. So at some point in time, you got to call it quits. I used some white in it to kind of create the feeling of light coming through. My light source is over here. It's actually not a very large piece of paper, because otherwise it was going, here's about how big it is. It's as big as my hand. It was going to take me forever and ever and ever, because colored pencil is actually a very time-consuming material to get involved with. Colored pencil drawings from really great artists like Cecile Baird and Bette Borgenson. Those are both really good ones to look up if you want to look up some really amazing colored pencil art. They're colored pencil drawings. I think one of the larger ones that I've seen by Cecile Baird was about 16 by 20, and that's pretty big for colored pencil work because it's very hard on your hands. It's layering and layering and layering, and then blending and blending and blending and burnishing, which is the burnishings where you rub the layers of color together. So it becomes very time consuming and kind of hard on your hands. So people who do colored pencil art sometimes will use like heat guns to warm up their paper. You can also buy something called an Icarus board, which is a clipboard that is 2 layers thick, and it has a heating element in it that warms slightly so that when you're blending, you're not having to push as hard and using the heat from friction to burnish your work. So there's a lot of different tools out there for people who are very, very into super realistic colored pencil drawing. So check out some of those people. One of them, like I said, is Cecile Baird. She's awesome. And Bet, B-E-T, Borenson, I think is her name. You'd have to look it up and see, but they're both super talented. They've written books. They're people that you should really look at if you're really interested in like seeing how far you can take colored pencil, because you can do super realistic stuff. So have a good time drawing and good luck on your colored pencil journey.